What do I need to start recording my music at home? Well, it kind of depends on what you do and what you see yourself doing in the future, right? I'm not necessarily going to go into particular models or prices of these things. I'm just going to kind of list off what you might need depending on the situation you see yourself in. So say you're a beat maker. You just want to make electronic production, no need to record vocals or an instrument or anything externally. Honestly, you're probably going to be fine with just a computer with recording software or music software on it. A lot of people produce their music in the box, meaning no external equipment. All the samples, sounds, effects, they're all in your software. All you need to do is make your beat and export it as an MP3 in the software, and you're basically good to go. There's some limitations to approaching it that way, and if you see yourself needing to record vocals at any point or wanting to record instruments outside of the computer, I would probably look into getting an external sound card or an audio interface. This is basically a box that has a connection to your computer with USB or Thunderbolt or whatever, and it's going to replace your computer's internal sound card, meaning any audio coming in or out of your computer is going to be directed through this little box. Most importantly, the box has inputs that facilitate microphones or instruments. Generally, your computer does not have those kinds of physical ports on the back of it to take in a microphone properly or a guitar. Also, the little box has audio outputs. Your speakers or headphones are going to come out from that box. And generally, the audio output quality is a little bit higher than an internal sound card might be. So even if you're not recording vocals or instruments, it still might be a good idea to consider one of these boxes just for accuracy's sake. So yeah, if you're going to be recording vocals, you'll need a microphone. There's all different kinds of microphones, but ideally you're going to get one with an XLR output so you can plug it directly into your interface. They do make a type of microphone that just directly goes USB into your computer, and those work fine. It's just that they're not expandable and you can't switch out the mic. In a musical setting, I'd say you'd get a lot more use out of a separate microphone and a separate sound card. If you're playing an electronic instrument like an electric guitar or a drum machine or a keyboard or a synth, you're able to plug your instrument directly into the sound card's input, and most of the time you can tune your particular sound within the software. If you have an acoustic instrument like an acoustic guitar, yeah, you're still going to be using a microphone of some sort in the same sort of way you would need one if you were singing. When you get a mic, you might have to consider getting a mic stand and a pop filter and a cable for the microphone to go into the interface. Also, a set of headphones would do you pretty good, or a set of speakers of some sort. Ideally studio monitors, but if you have a pair of speakers you trust or a pair of headphones you trust, they don't necessarily have to be from the music store. You know, you just got to know exactly what those things are doing to the music. One real pain in the neck is if you are a drummer and you want to record your drum set. Now you're going to need an interface that can take however many microphones you're going to need for your drum set. Some interfaces only have one microphone, some have two, some have 16. With a drum set, I'm probably looking at using 4 mics or more. Obviously, an interface with more inputs is going to cost more than an interface with only one input. And honestly, that kind of covers it for most people just wanting to start making music from home. Lots of people ask if you need a mixer or an effects processor. I'd say this stuff is not crucial for starting out. You have a mixer on your software and you have effects on your software, which negate the need to actually buy any of that stuff from the get-go. And I guess just to throw this in there too, they do make standalone recording units still. So you don't even necessarily need a computer if you have one of these things. Things like this usually save your track onto an SD card or USB stick, so I guess eventually you will need a computer to retrieve those files. But there's always going to be a market for people who don't want to go near a computer when it comes to making music and making art. So if you're one of those people, you can get a standalone recording unit, but in today's day and age, I gotta be honest, they're going to be very limited in terms of how you can edit and how you can view your entire song in comparison to working on a computer, you know? So to recap, at the very least, you're going to need a computer. I would recommend getting an audio interface no matter who you are. If you're singing or speaking, you're going to need a mic. If you're playing an acoustic instrument, you'll probably also need a mic. If you're playing an electric instrument, you can likely go directly into your audio interface. And if you're recording something big like a drum set or a piano or a choir, just be mindful of how many microphones you're going to need to use to record that thing, and make sure you get an interface that can accommodate that many microphones. That's pretty much it. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.